Hey guys, and welcome to the Fish Room. I'm Rachel O'Leary, and it has been a hot minute since I updated you guys. The recovery from my hand surgeries has been a bit more tricky than I anticipated, but I can finally get my hands wet again. I just wanted to show you real quick that everything's going just fine down here in the Fish Room. Baby Turt is doing great. I'm going to feed him some snails today for you guys. The Hillstream's doing great, the Paludarium's doing great. All the fish have done really well. Still no sign of the newts, but maybe they're still doing their thing. Anyway, I just thought we'd take a quick look around today, feed a few tanks, and pretty soon we're going to be starting summer tubbing. We still have a few days forecast below freezing here in Pennsylvania. But for the most part, it's getting much more mild, which means things are going to go into high gear around here. Now, my hope is to move out a lot of fish from my breeding rack to then move back in. But I also want to be able to break down a lot of tanks, so I'm sort of torn on what to do. I'm still going to move some fish out, but let me know down in the comments what you guys want to see me breed outside this year. The plants out there are doing great. We'll probably get out in the next 2 weeks to the greenhouse to take a look and kick off our inaugural, our 6th year of summer tubbing. If you're new here, I move a ton of fish and grow a lot of plants in my greenhouse, and it's a super fun thing to do. And this will be, again, my 6th year of doing it on YouTube, but over a decade in person. Anyway, let's take a quick look around. We'll check in on the Hillstream today, the 75-gallon nano, the Paludarium, and the turtle tank. Make sure you subscribe with that notification bell on so you don't miss any of my future videos, updates, and adventures. As always, thank you guys so much for your continued support. I hope everyone is staying safe and staying healthy. If you're new here, this is my stink pot turtle, Stinky the Snail Slayer. And he lives in a 30-gallon aquarium with a bunch of glow light danios and a basking area that you can see up there on the right. Today we're going to add some snails into his aquarium as he really enjoys hunting them down. He doesn't seem to bother the fish in here. I think they're a bit bigger than he would go after, and also too fast for him to get. So every once in a while, like once a week or twice a week, I go around the fish room and just collect some of the ram's horns, pond snails, and bladder snails to give him for enrichment in his aquarium. He's also fed a turtle pellet as well as frozen bloodworms, but snails are definitely his favorite thing. You can see that this aquarium has a little bit of algae. But all in all, it's not doing too bad for being a relatively new setup, having those basking lights on, and having a very low plant load. Now at some point here, I'm going to do a species spotlight for you on stink pot turtles. I'm still gaining some experience with them. I think it's really important, especially as a creator on YouTube, to make sure that we share information that we know through not only Googling but also experience. So I try not to rush into species spotlights until I've had a bunch of experience with a particular species. Since I've only had this guy, oh gosh, 6 months, 9 months, something like that, I really don't want to rush into portraying myself as more experienced than I am. I'm still learning a lot about these guys. They're super fun, super cute, and relatively easy to keep. And obviously adorable, but I think they are probably the most suitable pet turtle for an aquarist to keep. Mainly because they do well with plants, they do well with most fish, and they stay so small that they don't need as large of an aquarium as a lot of other species. Stinky spends most of his time in the water, though he does occasionally get up in that basking area, so I do have the bulbs on there for him to promote health. You can see he's put on quite a bit of size in the time that I've had him. When I got him, he was only about the size of a silver dollar. They only get a few inches big, so, you know, he's nearing, he's probably halfway grown at this point. You can see that he definitely knows there's some snails in the aquarium. Hopefully we'll find him crunching here in a minute. In the meantime, let's take a quick look at the Paludarium. We'll check back on Stinky in a minute. This is my 75-gallon Paludarium that was originally designed by Nick Kinzer. He did all the hardscape in here. I've done most of the planting. I had added newts, which somehow got into the hardscape, and I haven't seen. It's possible that they are hiding because of winter, but it's also possible that they are deep within that thing. I haven't quite decided what to do about it yet, but all in all, the plants in this Paludarium are a raging success. I'm super happy with it, other than the fact that I can't find the livestock. And I'm really enjoying keeping it. I still have more plants to add to this, but it's a really, really neat addition to my fish room. He crunch. You know, originally I had planned to breed snails in the aquarium with him, but he eats them so quickly that's just impossible. So I'm pretty fortunate in that I have so many other aquariums that I can pull snails from for this guy. Anyway, these are a good addition to his diet, and he's obviously doing quite well. You can see the Hillstream is doing great as well. Check out this fern growing out of the top of the tank. It's really gone crazy. All of these guys are looking really, really good. Now, there's no food in the tank, so a lot of the loaches aren't very visible right now, but this gives you a good idea of what this aquarium looks like. Most of the time, you can see it has quite a lot of flow. If you're new here, this is the first aquarium that I ever built for my channel, and is absolutely a fan favorite as well as one of my favorites. I need to get into it soon, now that I can get my hands in the tank and pull out a lot of this moss. You can see it's just going absolutely bonkers. This aquarium houses a lot of US natives, like these shiners here. Those are yellowfin shiners. There's rainbow shiners, the red guys. There's some Asian fish like the Daniocayathit, as well as a ton of Stiphodons and gobies and loaches. And this aquarium is just super, super fun. Really one of my favorites. It is absolutely low maintenance. I just do weekly water changes and feed the fish. Otherwise, I don't use any fertilizers in any of my aquariums or any CO2. And this one is just an absolute joy. I was hoping to see some of the, there's a Borneo sucker for you on the rock there. But yeah, this is how the Hillstream looks without any food added, which I don't often show you guys because so often I want you to be able to see all of the critters in there. Thought about doing a long format video of this aquarium, just having the camera roll both before and during feeding time so that you guys can really get an idea of how amazing it is. You can see there's a little Stiphodon up at the top there. So let me know if that's something you'd like to see. It would be kind of a hog to edit, so I haven't rushed into it. But it's super fun aquarium. It's got white clouds as well, as you can see. And as you can see below that one is the Paludarium that I showed you, and then the 75-gallon nano, which we'll take a look at now. This is the 75-gallon aquarium full of South American nanofish. We have Apistogrammus. This is a triple red cockatoide. We have ember tetras. We have barred pencilfish, green neons, Coreodorus, a ton of Otocinclus, and all in all, this is just a super fun aquarium to sit and watch as well. One of the reasons I put the 75-gallon nano, the Paludarium, the Hillstream all together is because I thought that they would all complement each other. They're three very, very different types of setups that really illustrate sort of my concepts of fish keeping, which is giving small fish a lot of space so that you can have larger groups of each species, which gives you a much more natural behavior. And I feel like all three of these aquariums really showcase sort of using oversized tanks in a really good light. Now, obviously not everyone can fit this many larger aquariums, but I really do encourage people to use the largest tank that you can for your space, because it just, the dilution, the space, everything makes it much more versatile. But as you can see, this aquarium is also doing quite well. And the more you sit here, the more outgoing all of the fish get. Looks like we have some potential spawning behavior going on with those quarries. They were just doing a T formation. But anyway, as you guys can see, things around here are doing pretty well. The big boys are good. All the other fish are good. If there's any particular setup you would like to see an update on before I start new projects or rehashing some older ones, let me know. Again, thank you for the continued support, and I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully, I'll be back on track for regular videos at this point.